And we are back. Well, next episode here called Transgender hate mail, homosexual hate mail, atheist hate mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube and DeviantArt that are response comments. I'm in against these deviant lifestyles and a few other things. Trigger warning. Don't like what I'm saying? Go ahead, click off the video, and do not lie and say there's hate speech in my videos. Because there's hate speech in my videos. The speech you hate, that's a different story. Let's continue on with these people getting things wrong in the comment sections, and me trying to straighten them out with Bible verses and basic biology, and then get ticked off about that. Wow. Let's continue on with this girl. First one, though, she's trying to, lying, saying she's a dude, and wondering why that's a problem. And I'm saying that it goes against the ways of God. That's bad news. You don't need to do that stuff. But she's like, but people could die if they, don't do that. Yeah, they could, but of what? You don't need to do self-inflicted wounds, but they don't need to do that. They can live instead. They can learn to live without doing that instead. That'll be painful, yeah, but it's important to do it. You gotta learn to get used to that, because that's reality. People are going to hate on you. That's the way it goes. Stop trying to please people. Stop it. Focus on pleasing God instead. With God before us, who can be against us? That's what very important to say. Continue on, please. Let's go. I tell them to stop resisting. That is a sin too. Also, there could be overlap. Basically, she said, "Isn't ending it all a sin? Like, why are you telling? Then wouldn't it be better to tell trans people, respect trans people's lives so they don't end it all? Like, nope, definitely not." And I was like, I do. Respect trans people. Respect trans people. Like basically, she means respect their lives. I mean, respect them instead. By saying stop lying, lying's bad, stop it. And then girls like, I say I do, by telling them stop transitioning. That is a sin too. Also, see, most of these things you mentioned as mutilation, but cutting the umbilical cord isn't, because it will dry out and fall off eventually. As for preparing deformed genitals, that is necessary surgery to fix part of the body so it works like it's supposed to. If you don't go stealth, then why do you go through all the trouble to change how your body looks? Why you front on the lie about your biological sex? I'm sorry. Going stealth is basically lying about, again, trying to lie more. Person more with head schools will be like, okay, no, I'm might either be like, I'm going to dress up as a comfortable skin person. Yeah, first of all, the same thing, maybe. Or she could be like saying, I go, yeah, she could be stealth, yeah, but she could, yeah, that's a possibility. I don't know what stealth is, because with the transgender lifestyle, dressing up deceptively is part of the thing. Girls will dress up like dudes, and dudes dress up like girls. You see, so going stealth, that's basically another type of conformity. Is that basically being like, I'm dressing like normal. I'm going to lie and say I'm comfortable again. Basically, is that what's going on? I think that is. Please tell me in the comments. Yep. You always tell me in the comments, so I know you will. Eventually. It's gonna be awesome. Let's get on here. Why use pronouns like you want to go sex? Let's ask. Girl says, right. So angle genitals everyone has more important than their lives through lies. That is healthy tissue. Yeah, true. Damaging is relation. After be like those babies, they still may not have a complete reproductive system. Yeah, but that's better than it would be even without that stuff. You mutilated them for no reason, but they were already deformed. So they need to get their stuff fixed. Girl trying to mess around and say, deformity is not fixing deformity is mutilation. No, I got you. No, it's important to fix that deformity. So sucks. The pee hole on the penis is not open. That's bad. So open the pee hole. If the pee hole, the JJ hole, the vaginal orifice are not open on the vagina, that's the vulva, that's not good. You gotta open that. So I'm sorry. You're trying to be like, no, there is no normal genitals. Oh, yeah, there are. Sorry, it doesn't work. Next. So the umbilical cord, why mutilate a baby when it's actually fall off? Because that's bad for them. They could get infected. You gotta get that stuff tied up. So it doesn't, immediately. Cut and tied up immediately to avoid issues. So this doesn't work. The argument don't work, girl. You on here? God designed it that way for a reason. Interrupting God's plan for that baby. According to Eliza was told. I guess anything on a path towards Satan. According to Eliza was told. See, I have a motivation I laid out for you. I go through all that trouble for myself and around other people. I don't care how many people know. Yes, you do. That's why you do it. I don't care what they say about me behind my back. I don't care about what they think of what I chose to do. Nobody. In a way, it really doesn't affect their lives. In a way, that doesn't really affect any of their lives. According to lies I was told, then telling other people that this is a good way to live when it's not. They can tell every single person they know I'm trans and then name misgender me on private, just as long as they say the right thing to my face. It's about how she is treated by other people. Yeah, that's why she does this. It is conformity. It is deception. It is wrong. Continue on. It's not lying about radical sex. And girl says, I don't go stealth because I can't. Not that I'm physically unable. I have this obligation to my community that I can't be a coward. And why transition? Yeah. Continue on. I have to put up with constant mistreatment, disrespect, assumptions, danger, and people acting like resistance is a debate. It's the lies I was told. It's not about easy. Yes, it is. It's about cowardice. It totally is. That ship has sailed, but it continues to sail. In case you couldn't tell, I am proud of it through lies. Stop being proud of that stuff. No, you don't dare tell me pride is a sin. No, yeah. Within that, yes. Because writing when everyone else wants you dead, because according to the lies I was told. Talking when. What is this? Talking when... Ah, crap, I missed the last piece. Something they want you to shut up, I guess. That's the only reason I transitioned, to lie about your microsex in front of other people. Yeah, that's the reason. And I don't regret it. You should. Stop doing that. That's only when I meet an untimely death at the hands of the person who will inevitably get away with it, because it's been made quite clear that my life is inherently worthless. The other of that, worth less than that of any other people through lies. And I'm one of the lucky ones through lies. I said, I do not condone physical assault on anyone, but transitioning, aka lying about your vital sex with fervor enough, hiding your sexual traits is wrong. He said, even after you started to lie, and say that you're a man, people will still mistreat you and call you by your female pronouns. So what's the point of transitioning? Yeah, what is the point of that? What's the point of transitioning? Also, the intersex / deformed babies who get surgery to repair their genitals are not mutilated; they are repaired. The umbilical cord is only usable when the baby is inside the mom. Once it comes out, its work is done. It needs to be cut or it will cause physical health problems. So totally different than gender reassignment surgery. Boom. Yep. Sorry, girl got it wrong. And then girl says, I already explained it through lies. I'm not transitioning to be not to be mistreated. Yes, you are. That's what you're doing it for. Denial is a huge part of the transgender lifestyle, and we got to get over that stuff to get rid of it, to fight against it. I'm doing it because I really don't fit into a female body through lies. According to lies, she was told she does not fit into a female body, but she has one, so that's it. You don't get another body. That's the shape you get, that's the size you get, that's the color you get, those are the reproductive organs you get. Can't stop it. Sorry. Continue on here. I want people to acknowledge that. That's why you shall decide to deceive people. Yeah, you can't do it. Acknowledging that doesn't work. It's not right. Some people never will. I'm trying to at least get them to keep themselves and not let it affect me or my community through truth. Yeah. The girl says, look, I'm not looking for special treatment. Yes, you are. That's why you do this stuff. I'm not looking for privilege. Yes, you are. That's why you do that stuff. I don't want you to do it down to me. Yeah, you do. I want you a little empathy and trust that I know my own experience through lies. It does work. I send the same to you. Try to think of you as a human, as a victim of misinformation rather than an enemy. If I had no proof of points, I wouldn't argue them. But time and time again, we see studies supporting that being trans isn't a choice. Feeling that feeling isn't a choice. Lying about your biological sex is. Transitioning, lying about your biological sex is the best option through lies. It's the whole scientific community comes out and says, oops, we were wrong. Male gender reverted therapy again. But until that day, I'm just going to do what I was recommended to do through lies. Yeah, just stick with the recommended to truth instead. Stop that. Doesn't work. Next. Any way you could teach me? Got all the time. Yeah. Any way you could teach me how you have to learn? You should have said the same to me. I know we all like to think we were our own hero, but I've learned myself that we were always wrong about something. Here, so you know I will against you. I think your art is really cool. Thanks. I've seen some older pics and I say that you definitely improved a lot, and you're clearly very passionate about it. I can tell you've got a lot of people who really appreciate your comics, and I encourage you to continue making them and improving and coming up with great stories. I too have an art account, and I recognize how difficult it can be to make art, especially comics. So great work. Also, if I made a suggestion, link to something, perhaps an episode or 2 of the show when you get the time. This thing, the trans girls, dudes who are lying and saying they're women, trying to fight for trans rights, which are bad rights. Perhaps watch episode 2 of this when you get the time. No, they're a bit long. These 2 lady men do much better explaining transgender than I ever could. They're basically lying about the radical sex and being like, well, we need money because trans people suffering by people saying they're wrong, and hurting their feelings. We need money, money and stuff, For that, no, nope, no reparations for trans people, nope. It's like someone saying, "Oh, I sped and got a ticket. I need someone else to pay it because it hurt me." Nope. See you next time.